welcome back to another stream of Star Rupture. So, done a few things since we last seen each other on stream. Mostly just around a bit of the exploring, chasing some of the, what are they? Plants. So getting all the herbs, bit of the boring stuff to take care of while off stream. Not really the most exciting thing to share with you all, so figured I'd take care of that with some friends in between everything else. Just getting a few of the tags and everything else set up in the streams just so it shows up for everybody. Different tags to show it up there on Twitch. Let's get the YouTube stuff sorted now. Depending on what you are seeing me on, I do stream to both Twitch and YouTube. That way, depending on the platform you want, even if you're preferring YouTube to watch the content, obviously when drops are enabled, it is important to jump over to Twitch just to get those drops that, you know, could be cosmetics, guns, whatever it may be. Just jumping over there and watching it over there can help you guys out, not so much me. It doesn't make a difference for me. Just do it for the chance of drops for everybody, so make sure the community's getting all the items. Here we go, that should be all sorted now. Let's get a jump on in. If you do send me a message and I don't respond immediately, just be aware there is some issues with the chat system occasionally, not quite. It's not always updating properly for some reason, so I've tried a few different things trying to get that working, so hopefully it's all working good today. If not, like I said, just be patient. I do occasionally look over, click through the different windows to make sure all the chat's coming correctly. For some reason this audio is still very loud again. So I'll just get that corrected. If you are playing this early access or looking at getting it, you know, and you click menus or whatever and it takes time, just be aware some of it is just very slow at reacting. So save those. Alright. So, first of all, I'll just start off with a few things that happened since last time. Sort of go to the base build just so you can put a rail. Not too much with this. We're just building some of the furnaces last time to get the glass and chemicals moving, so that is now finished. We've got the glass all built and done. We've moved on to these bays, which has then moved on to the chemicals being built, looks like a bit of a clusterfuck at the moment, not gonna lie. There's a lot of rails, a lot of moving parts going in every different direction, and then since last time it has drastically expanded into this nightmare of a design now. I mean, it's all flowing quite nicely, so may look a little bit messy, but because different systems have to flow into, so these flow into there, which flows into another system, which flows back into another system, and these flow off into other systems as well. So many different parts that you're going to need to make that are going to be reused in other systems. So when you begin this game, I'll be doing a guide shortly. I think tomorrow I'm going to basically be sitting down and just doing a bunch of different guides on this game for all you new people starting, people who are a bit more time limited, I suppose, in playing games. You come home, you get maybe an hour or so to play. Just some tutorials to help you guys sort of filter through and get stuff done without getting caught up with this whole redoing buildings, because it can take quite a lot of time. So the most important thing will be basically once you start your build, don't build too closely like I have. Don't build near water sources. As you can see, I'm over the top of one. Don't do that. Try and stay away from water sources for your hydrobolts for survival, and really open up and spread out the design from the beginning. So when you create a singular system, so say your first system you craft, you're building these items here, right? They're going to be used throughout the entire game, so you're going to need to really make sure where you plan building this, that it can transfer into 2, 3, 4 different systems. So I've got these transferring over into 2 different machines here, as well as these transferring into 2 different machines, possibly 3. They're spitting out something that's going to be used for lots of different things shortly, which I actually have to do that in a minute. And then I've got those same bits here being transferred over to storages over the far side there to go into other machines as well. So a lot of this stuff is going to go through multiple machines, even these. So make sure to have everything set up in a way that you can share it around as needed. Try not to get caught up as much as I have. Give yourself a lot of room for rails to move around. So I would say spacing is going to be the most important thing, and a lot of products are going to need double, even triple fabricator. So be aware that your build needs to allow for, you know, smelter, triple fabricator, then potentially a furnace after that as well. So anyway, we'll continue on from where we're up to. Oh, and the map side of things, give a quick look at that too. So last time when we were on, we'd sort of only really explored up to sort of this sort of area here. We've done a little bit down sort of just in here, so this is all new as well as this. I do play with other people, so I jump in with other people's worlds and help them out and run along with them. So doing that, I found when I was doing that with them, I found that you run into these little corrosive zones. You can actually run through them and collect the last herb that you need, which I'll show you here. So the last herb you're going to need being the soul hearts. They are found in those corrosion zones, so when you're chasing them, they're just inside these zones here. Some better than others, I believe. Where was it? Was one I went to specifically. Is it that one? Maybe it was that one. Oh no, it's this one here. So this one here was the most beneficial one. It had lots of different soul heart and different sections of it. I think I managed to get about 19 or 20 just in one run through this section here of the soul heart. So running up to that one there, right on the edge of the radiation zone, was definitely worthwhile doing. Whereas a lot of the others only had maybe four to six. So obviously they, if you haven't figured out how the plants themselves respawn, or how these caves open and close and whatnot, that's all to do with the rupture events. Now, speaking of rupture events, there is one thing you'll be chasing that's specific to those rupture events, which is the where is it? To find a picture of the plant now so you can see it yourself. There we go. These oxalop. So when you're after the oxalop, these only come out after a rupture event, so they're not going to be on the map any other time except directly after a rupture event. So once the rupture happens, you're going to need to run to their location and farm them. So far the only place I've found them is in this water track here. So this water track, after the rupture happens and there's no water in it, they will begin to sprout immediately after the rupture, so you need to head in here and collect them. Again, this was sort of between 15 to 20 in here from memory, so just farming that. I try and get there every single session. So thanks for the follow there, mate, appreciate that. But yeah, just jumping in this one, guys, and getting your oxalops, that's going to help you out a lot, get through that very quickly. Now, spoiler alert, if you don't want the spoilers, just mute me for a sec. I'll give you a thumbs up and a wave and tell you to come back in a sec, but a bit of a spoiler coming here. So what I found was when I was doing this run around 2 with the oxalop, looking for other places to get it, I ran up in this north section, which I would highly advise against running up here. So it tells you when you see the big machine, which I will show you. So the big machine out in the distance there. So as you get close to that, it's going to tell you basically what the game's about and what the goals are of the actual game. And apparently we are going to be going inside that and restarting that, which is called the world engine. So when you go up there, it's going to give you that information. And then I was following the edge, trying to follow the radiation zone. I end up running into this building right here, the red leaf. Now, this is a significantly more advanced base to go to, unlike all the previous ones down in these south sections, which are just as simple as going in, killing a few creatures, and getting in and getting out. This one up here is a massive facility that actually fills up this entire area here. There's just facility after facility after facility, lots of stuff to loot, definitely. Lots of different blueprints, high-end blueprints, ones that I've unlocked that I don't even have the machines for yet, or even they're not even showing up that I can get them, so they're that far ahead. Definitely almost died here though, because it had a lot of the tier 5 creatures up here to fight, and I was solo, so it was very hectic. But this one was a 3 keycard access area, so you had to actually go in, find a keycard in one building, use it to get into 3 other buildings to find these other 3 access cards, then go to the main storage area to loot. So again, I wouldn't advise going up to this north section of the map in the early game. I would just honestly stay in this south section here, looting through all these different buildings, making sure when you're after your blueprints, going to all these different areas like here, Grey Owl, we've got Empty Sleeve, etc. So going through to all these. Now I will also be putting up tutorials on these, because these are actually very specific to the blueprints they're going to drop you. So I found that doing it on Mates Worlds, going to the same places, was getting us the same blueprints. So I'm going to be doing something on that, so everybody sort of knows where they're going to get, which ones they're chasing. Anyway, on to our next task, which is going to be moving some products on and getting our levels up. So let's go check what we're working on for today. As you're seeing, we just unlocked this next section to get the defense tower next, unlocking a bigger inventory, and my god, will that help, especially when you're running around, especially in the northern section. So valves, batteries, electronics we can do, impellers. We are making those right now, so I'll show you that. That's in one of the new machines. Looks like hardened agent needs to be something. Let me just slip out there. So the impellers, where we put them down here. So this is the new mega press, as you can see, quite large. I had to squeeze it into here, just because it needs 4 different products to run it. So some more modern, some older. So that's what I was saying about making sure to keep the different setups you build running, because you're going to need them in the end. This is also the storage too. It doesn't look like it has much, you know, but unfortunately, but the great thing about these ones is they're a 3x3 instead of a 2x2, but instead of only holding 400, they hold 1,600 items, which is, you know, obviously significant for what we need. So we'll be sending those off shortly. Just got to head back quickly. There was a couple of impellers I needed just to do some research. That's probably the first thing I would recommend doing too, is when you're doing a new build, it doesn't matter what it is, calcium, whatever, make sure to check your research table, see what you need in here, and once you've done your research, then start sending them off to the different areas. So that covers my impellers, so now I can send them off without issue. Otherwise I'm going to have to make some later, or I may end up forgetting about it. We'll start sending those impellers off now, and then we'll work on the next setup of the machine to get the next lot going, which I believe will be that hardened product. I don't know if I can actually build that yet. So we can't do the pumps, we can't do the valves. Can do the nozzles though. Definitely do the nozzles. The only thing I have to send over here is the helium, the heated resistance shield, heat and stabilizer already come into this. So, but that's also good to note down, is what we're sending across here and what you're going to need on these different things. Yeah, you can make your bullets now, which we'll get into later. That new defensive tower can be loaded by rail, unlike the original systems here that have to be hand loaded. The new ones can be just fed into with a rail system. So eventually you'll upgrade all that to the rail system and build a machine just to constantly feed them, keep them going. Definitely required, as where the monolith is just down here. Once you build your level 2, that is where the enemies are going to spawn in from. As you can see, this one is barely keeping up at the moment. It's basically feed in, feed out. Alright, so now we need to find the closest. Don't think we have one. So let's just send these away. I'm not really in a rush, so lots of other machines to build in the meantime. Now the reason I've ended up with 2 of these is I do want these to fill up, as they're going to be used for the other impeller that you've got to build with this as well. Turbine housing is going to need them, so I've got to keep that being built. And the to making sure to keep up with the different companies, because they all kind of work hand in hand when it comes to the leveling. So you don't tick up to the next one here. So if we go back to the main screen of it, you know, remember that. The hardened agent, which we can't make, the impeller we're making. Valves, obviously we still need some stuff for that. One of them has the refinery, which is right here. So obviously we're handing those impellers right now, but we need the refinery and we need the sulfur. So until we get both of these, we can't actually progress further, because they're what's holding up other builds from happening at the moment. So we can't make the batteries or the nozzles yet, both of those. We can't make the hardened agent, again all relative to those other builds. So electronics, I think that's what we were working on potentially. Maybe I did the electronics already. Yes, we've got the electronics running. That's good. The rest of these is just, you get them when you get them really. I don't really need any of them so much. Power source isn't really a problem at the moment. I do have to actually upgrade my core though, so I'm starting to cap out on this, so we'll start feeding this right now.
I can use this.
I'm going to farm those in a minute. Done some of this food here for now. We'll be back. I'm coming for farming now. To delete these things when you no longer need them, just so they're not sucking up power and stuff on your source and overheating your
I'm so hungry I feel sick. I think I can use this.
Like I said, a lot of this is going to be just learning what you need, where you need it, which is why I'm trying to tell you guys now of, you know, how important all these mines are. In the early game, like I said, it just tells you, you know, build, move on, but the late game, see, even here to craft these intermediates, like, you're going to need a lot of everything. Shotgun there. Definitely proud of that. So, the godsend for me. Some people might not like it, but that's my go-to weapon. Wasn't Helldivers, definitely isn't this too.
That's just what I need. Oh, just what I need.
Plenty of storage is definitely going to be needed too. You end up with a lot of this shit when you're deconstructing buildings mainly. That's where I end up with most of my junk. these in the last one, but these are your cargo dumps, so these are the ones that just transport in from another area. So these are going to be important to get to, so that you don't have to transport your helium from the other side of the map. So that's where the ore's coming from. It's transporting from there back to the main base here, and the helium is... Geez, where is my helium again? Somewhere up here. I think it's there. So yeah, just getting up to these and then go and chase your helium is probably one of the most important things too. First lot of helium, I just went there with empty inventory, picked it up and then ran it all the way back. It's static first. Titanium and wood frames. Yeah. This is not titanium.
Oh, yes. Off-stream later, not on-stream, I'll start dismantling some of these storages and shrinking them into storages just to save some space. Make it easier to move shit around. It's that simple. As long as you keep all your storages to keep just the basic ore, you're going to make materials a lot faster. so I'm going to add another storage room here. Split it up and turn it from there. I like to use the storages to be your turning points too a lot of the time, just that way you can go into different areas until a plethora of stock, so when certain machines are full, other machines keep running.
Ah, gotcha.
The only part that you definitely need to look at is destruction of stuff, so because you can't destroy items, you really drop them on the ground, you end up with a lot of containers just lying around. Delete a rail, re-put it in. Sometimes if your system stopped working entirely, the entire thing, that's has happened to me before, where the entirety of the system just literally stops.
Great.
Raptura activity detected. I recommend finding a safe place.
As you can see, a lot of it's going to be around making sure the initial systems you set up are constantly running in areas that they can continue to run. I don't think there's any material that I've made so far that I'm not still making, so everything you make from the beginning is still sort of happening now. Just wait for this event to quickly happen and then we'll keep moving. If we get lucky, I had a wave event happened as a attack happened, so the attack happened moments before the wave was due, so the wave destroyed the entire wave of aliens. It was great. Didn't have to do anything, didn't have to waste bullets.
Warning. Extreme temperature detected.
Jeez, that was very quiet, wasn't it? Thought that would have been sound effects, but might have been an ambient sound, so. Just a little bit higher. I do like hearing that explosion. Those three, and then we'll back into these factories. A little bit jerky, excuse me, with this game at the moment, but barely access. So, expect the odd thing here and there not to be perfect. 16%, so it's moving on nicely. As I was saying, we're not rushed because a lot of this stuff is just time, so you could build lots of different machines to speed up some of these processes. By going out and farming, killing bugs and searching areas, you're also going to get these. So if you go out and search all these bodies, drone wrecks, etc., you're going to get items in which you can put in the analyzing station, which is going to give you more of your points, and then you can just use those points to speed up any of them. So they are used for other things, but
within acceptable parameters.
everything else you seem to use them for is fairly cheap. Just bear with me a sec. The reason I was saying earlier not to build on the waterways or around any of the vegetation you're going to collect up food and water is whenever you build near them, it just stops respawning altogether, and that's any of them. So when I go build these sulfur ones later, I'm not going to build the sulfur farm, my sulfur heart farm, and build it on the one where I'm only getting like 2 or 3 hearts per thing. Taking up those resources and seeing now is really important. So I'm going to need, I think it was
100, 200. 50 per base of these cores. So every time you're out, make sure to farm all of these, collect all of the materials from them. Obviously, if you don't need the titanium and what is it, the wolfram, just drop it, throw it away, whatever. So yeah, like I was saying, everywhere these lines run, none of the vegetation that used to spawn anywhere near these spawns period anymore. It's all gone completely. So the other thing you want to farm whenever a rupture happens, like I said, every time a rupture happens, that's when you should be running around collecting all the different materials, building up on the glow caps from the cave, which we're going to go to in a sec. Heading to whatever material sources you need that only come from ruptures, which, you know, there are a few of those, so. Later on in this stream, I'll show you the location of those other berries that only come specifically after the rupture. It should be just here. And these caves are the only place you're going to be able to get quartz from as well, and glow caps, so. I believe once you've farmed out the quartz in a specific cave, they don't come back at all. There's only a limited amount of the quartz itself. The glow caps seem to come back, so collect them as needed. Different caves, different areas, different amount of glow caps too, so some have 4 to 5, some have a hell of a lot more, so they're not generally larger than that, just slightly different variations of the design. Just do a quick loop close to the base, get a few more of these. So I need 50 of these hearts now just to level 2, but it's on the brink of hitting level 3, so, and I'm running out of resources right now. Sorry if that was feedback, didn't realise that. As you can see, I've got lots of different core setups, lots of different places around the map, just so when I'm running around, just in case of a rupture come through, I've got a place to refuge. Let's get back to this coil. Make sure if you're using the drone where you're standing is out of the way of where you're working, because it does interfere with your position as well.
Necesito agua.
So because I'm building from that side, I'm just going to redirect the flow. Switch the baggies. They're on the far side, but bringing them in shouldn't be an issue. It's just nothing over this back side here. Around the outside. So when I'm using it like this too, because that machine's not producing anything at the moment, I like to also split it up. So we'll get also leaves a third one free if we want to steal that later. Set up your base so if you want it to be very OCD and need them, go for it. You have to be redoing it a lot though, just based on the amount of different things you need and where you need them to go. It gets very awkward very fast.
The Ruptura is in its stable stage. The climate of Arcadia is returning to normal.
So that should start producing shortly. In the meantime, we'll do this more advanced so we can do depot for the technical capture.
Oh, nice.
nozzles, which we can build up the landing section of the nozzles. You'll get from there, resistance and stuff there. I don't think we're producing anywhere near as many as we need. It's held up by glass, so the same before the glass seems to be producing enough, so I think we'll
Necesito agua.
go take a look at that. Glass production's fairly easy, it's just having enough to do it. works, right? It's an absolute schmozzle, but it works. That fixes our problem with the glass. Back to the press issue. Next product. So it's going to be nozzles. Which is good. If that can keep up, then we should start storing some additional. That light's there, it's there, really wouldn't come from anywhere. So we can always make a press somewhere if it's open that to reach too much out this way, but here's what it is at this stage. That also makes many clashing issues. Now put this backwards. That's helpful. I knew which way I wanted it, and somehow I still put it backwards. So the field of view needs to be slightly higher. Just going to send them to that one for now because that's the high priority. So. Turbines as we don't have the acid just yet, so got them going, got them going. Eventually we will have the standard ammo set up as a constant, which means we're going to need the basic building materials. So this is only going to be basic building material machine. Probably actually right next to this one because all the materials are just there, so we could probably just backload this. This way. And then build another storage container just here. Fabricator. Furnace there actually. One of the scanners so that can go out later. Oops, too high. you can put another one here. What's the heavy ammo building materials? Yeah, so what I'm about to do is actually a storage depot here. So I may have to move this back slightly. So I'm going to have to transfer that to a depot here. Then build all my machines off to the mega press running each one. And just here now. Right, get the overheat core. So, I guess we're working on that core again. How quickly things keep changing in this.
Ha!
The elements of this is time to go farm up these other materials we need for it. It's a bit chaotic for everyone else watching to get that sort of memory where I place everything. Then catch up. Once we're access to the next one. I don't think this game's going to be a quick finish, and this is early access, so I can't imagine all the other stuff they've got planned for
Looks
it
good.
either. All of this stuff that's going to come out.
Good stuff. Come to mama.
All we're looking for is just those burning core rocks. As long as we're out farming, I'm going to make my way over to the other plants that we're going to need. Most of my bases my outskirt bases that are built just with huts, they've all got a lot of your different stations you're going to need. Like I said, collecting every type of plant when you go out, making sure to have a slot for every single type of plant is important. Which is also why I bring a lot of building materials to make sure these bases have analyzers and whatnot, so that you can use them up as you go. So you've maxed everything out, and once you've maxed everything out, obviously you'll just have food crafting stations everywhere. So that you can just keep crafting food, better food. Just yet. Could be though, as some of the foods, like the stamina or the energy regen food is absolutely phenomenal. It just makes your regen. The second you stop like that, boom, you'd be full in half a second. So it's crazy. So when you're trying to run away from some of these creatures, and you will be, having that energy is going to be the big difference between whether you survive or die. When I go into a lot of the new base areas where you're collecting materials from too, I'll make sure to slowly work my way in when I'm solo, just so you'll pull out some of the mobs, not all of them at once, so you can kind of work your way through as they don't respawn. When you kill up, like where's one of the bases over there, that base right there, when you go into it, it's going to have lots of different mob packs in it, so you don't have to fight them all at once. You can sort of just at a distance shoot a couple, draw them out, and then move in and kill the main bosses after. I feel like I'm back in the early stages, chasing all these rocks again. Normally when I go out, I always blast one of those rocks, just so you've got a core on you, so you can build a base. Just say I'm out in the middle of nowhere and there's no base around, it gives you the wave alert. You've got enough time to build one quickly, throw one down, and a habitat so you can survive. So it's always good to carry with you when you go out. I haven't tested a theory yet, but I believe the caves that spawn near these trees that you can go into, as they cover over once the planet's reformed, I'll test it eventually, see if you get trapped inside it or whether you can get out. And if you do get trapped inside it, see if we can survive the rupture when it comes. So all good information for people to know. Don't be afraid to use this with your actual gun, it does do significant damage. Also slows them down. You notice how they get the blue eyes there instead of the red? That's from when you kill these blue popper ones. If they run through that field, like crack cocaine, they get real angry at you. Just want to take you on. We're talking about cargo transport earlier, where I get my helium from. This isn't the helium spot, but this is where I get some more of my titanium from. So just as simply, it's all coming down, hopping in the storage container, and going straight through this cargo dispenser, which teleports it back to my base. So these are going to be your godsend later, just to send everything back. Mainly your helium, and it's going to be that sulfur as well. We're heading to a sulfur field in a sec, so I'll show you those plants in the sulfur field and how to get them quickly. Without dying, hopefully. I haven't died yet doing it, so... But, we're on stream, so if I'm going to stuff it up, it's going to be now. Don't run through these bushes either. If you haven't seen them yet, I'll quickly show you. Where, as you can see, it starts draining you and just absolutely saps your energy. I mean, they've really thought of a lot of different things in this game, a lot of different mechanics. Really enjoy it. I do like the fact that vegetation doesn't grow where you build, and within a large radius of where you build, the electronics and everything we use is just killing the ground, killing the plants off and all that. It's well thought out sort of thing. There's a save. Might be a rupture soon. So anyway, on the map here, so this is one of my spots up
Looks good.
from the hydros. A lot of hydro bolts on this one here. I'll show you on the map. The map is the same, it's not random.
Come to mama.
It's identical on all worlds, so some things are RNG, but most of it is placement, so you'll be able to see where I am and what I'm doing. You come to these same locations. And this is just here. I always use the reference point of the orbital lander where you first begin the game, so come out of the orbital lander and head east to this lake here. That's also where you're going to find these prison herbs. They seem to spawn differently each time, so sometimes that'll be a bush of 6, that'll be 6, like I've been here when they're all 6. Other times when it's like 2, 2, 6, all of them 2s, it's just very random. We'll go to that sulfur field just here. Everything should come through. So this is the corrosive area, sulfur fields. Now those are the plants you want there. They're the hearts. So to get them, all I've been doing is simply just running through, quick spam clicking, and straight out the other side. So the corrosive level barely even picks up. I don't want to get too much that way. There's a level 5 alien there. For those who haven't seen, I can give you a quick look-see. He's not fun. Definitely not fun in the solo.
Come to mama.
I'm going to end up harvesting this sulfur field. This will be where I bring my machines later. There's not that many plants in here, as you can see. It's kind of dwindled, really. So if I'm going to wreck one of them, I may as well wreck one that the plants don't really spawn that long. Just for a quick idea, I'll wait for the rest to pick up a little bit more. Doesn't want to. When it picks up, if it hits maximum, don't stress too much, just keep running and get out. So what it's going to do is it's just going to start knocking away your shield, and then eventually your health. But as long as you're in and out, by the time it actually drops off, you should only be about where I'm at, about 90 HP, maybe just a little bit more, as long as you get in and out quickly, so it shouldn't kill you. So now we're going to move over to a little camp over here. Hopefully, Mr. 5 doesn't chase us. If he does, we may have to deal with him and his friends. Over this spot, there's a lot of that base there is where he's going to spawn at. See him there at the moment. He does come back every single time you load in, so
Come to mama. Looks good.
be careful with that.
Good stuff.
Bear with me for 1 second, just bringing up the other chat there so we can see it. send a message. I'll be able to respond to you guys. There are some bugs where things spawn inside rocks and whatnot still, so that is a thing. Obviously early access, so wherever we can, I'll try and just bring up the map. Take a lot of screenshots and send it into them, try and help them out. At this stage there's only 2 developers of this game, so yeah, they've done an amazing job. I mean, graphically this game is, I'm pretty happy with it. The Rupture, the explosion, the idea of what they're doing. Yeah. Definitely got my support. I will be upgrading to the supporter pack to support these guys along on this journey. I'd love to see where this game goes. As you can see, I've built this up, so I always put in a printer just in case you need materials. The analyzer, just so if you're killing bugs, you can analyze them here and claim some of your things. And then yeah, just your fruit, so you can get through and click off whatever you need to. As you can see, most of mine are done now that I've been doing off stream, just so it's not as boring for you guys. Running around watching me collect plants isn't the most entertaining thing, I'm not gonna lie. Even I get a little bit bored of it, but it's got to be done. So that's what I'm here for. To collect those after the next. On each one, obviously, they all have different effects. How much hydration you're going to get? 100, that's pretty good. 55. These ones here like stops natural hydration, so that's why I'm building these, because then for 60 minutes I don't have to worry about drinking or anything as well at all. It is relative though, as it says 45 toxicity, but there is one I'm working on further down that I think it's one of these, maybe I've done it already. What's this one? One of them reduces your toxicity. There you go, doubles natural toxicity loss. So that one's going to be, you know, a mandatory one to be making if you're going to be using a lot of these.
I'm detecting increased Rupture activity. Prepare for a wave.
Perfect Rupture time. So I will. It's handy to have some. So again, this is probably the one I'm going to go for. It's going to stop both as opposed to just one, and it's only going to give you the same amount of toxicity, and I find the pricklets are pretty easy to farm as well. 45 toxicity isn't that bad, and it'll dissipate fairly fast, especially when you're going to pair it up with this one. So we'll make a few of those in a sec.
Oh, I needed that.
It's up to you too, when you're building these, if you want to add in your regeneration chamber for somewhere to spawn, it's probably a good point to have.
Rupture of the eruption has started. Prepare for impact.
Just starting that far into that planet and then working its way over. So when I was in the very far north, it took a fair bit of time for that to, when I say a fair bit of time, I'm talking a couple of seconds, but it does take time for it to rip through from there to the top. So I'm sure if there's you and your mate on in different sections, it's going to act differently. It's going to act very differently if one of you is outside too at the time. If you're outside at the time of it, well, you're going to die. But it's okay. It won't be slow. So once we can get out, all I'm going to do is just run up through here. I might actually quickly check these 3 caves. I've done that last time. I do the 3 caves and then through, but I mainly need these at the moment, so they're more of the priority, but I don't think they spawn immediately. If we get there and they haven't spawned in, we'll go to the caves quickly and come back. Yeah.
Planetary temperature returning to normal.
No need to have your guns out after a rupture until the planet respawns. It's grown its grass back and it's told you that you know, it's all the habitat's grown back basically. You can come out here and not have to worry. And these bodies, they seem to respawn, so after an event there's more bodies, more things just lining up randomly. Have they spawned in yet? Yeah, here they go. So this is what we're here for. As you can see, the rupture event's happening and now these are growing. This would normally be, you know, water up to there, so these only grow in after the rupture event.
Come to mama. Good stuff.
It does specifically state that after you grab them, it says certain things will only be here during an event, some things will only be after. So depending on the time to what you'll find around. As I go through. Same thing, they only come in when the events happen, so collecting this material for later on the game is important. This is the only lake of this I've found so far. As you've seen, I've done a fair bit of exploring on that side of the map, so I want to do a little bit more exploring maybe today on stream to open up some of this area here and hopefully find another section of these. Actually, while we're waiting for that material to happen, we might even go for a burn now off this direction. Feel free to ask any questions if you've got any on the game. My thoughts are is if you know you're into these survivor builder games, you love the grind of finding things, building things, collecting things, and your thing. This game is definitely worth the money. I reckon. I'm having a ball playing it. And you know, it's not a 5-minute game. You know, you're constantly moving, constantly farming, constantly building, changing builds, resetting things up. Like there's just a lot of in-depth thinking about what to do. If you harvest a lot of plants, you're wondering sort of how long until they grow back. Well, these plants, they all grow back after the rupture event. So once these events happen, once the planet becomes green again and lifelike, most of these will sprout back up. So that's when you want to come and refarm most of this stuff. Everything seems to be focused around those events. wondering why sometimes like destroying these things is easier. If you're watching some of these balls I'm destroying are like taking time, others are like almost instant. That's based on that blue bar you can see on my screen just to the left. So every time that white bar, it adds another one, so now 5 bars of blue. That's just going to make this gun do more damage. So that's basically your damage rotation buff. So 4 stacks, it's about to drop down to 3 stacks. You know, you just want to keep that up, and to keep that up, it's just simply taking off material off of these. Every time you take off another type of material, it amps it up. Making sure also to bugs you can get caught in like that, so just be aware of that too. Yeah, just making sure too to keep the guns heat down as much as possible wherever you can. So I'm standing in all that bramble bush, that's what that is there, so when the planet respawns, that's us clearing it real quick. Being aware where we are is important at all times, even when the planet's burnt, because when it starts to restore, they won't fully start to appear, but I'll start getting caught up and taking the damage from them pretty quickly, so... Definitely beam down this way, just not all over it.
What's good?
Rubblers. There can be cave here. Nope. You can collect them even during this time. Haven't really gone into the radiation section yet. Has not been necessary, so... Don't know what's in there, don't know if I can survive in there. And yeah, these corrosive zones are, they're all dead during the rupture, so if you need just to pass through one, these are the times in which you can get through without taking any risk. The focus here is just moving out somewhere we haven't been, seeing what's around while waiting for all of our machines to stock up all of the resources. So you'll have a lot of time just to explore, let all your machines build up all those storage bins in which you've crafted. That's why I love having lots of storage bins. It just really frees me up to get around the map, come back, got lots of resources to work with.
Come to Mama.
6. Whilst the planet's still burnt. Do a quick save here just in case this goes pear-shaped. As you can see, more than 24 hours now. We're up at 33, 34. So you know it'll start to move fairly quickly. And these are the quartz I was saying before. These don't seem to back in the cave, and if they do, it seems to be a long time between. I think I've only been back to one cave that had one back in it, and I'm not sure if it was just because it was back or because I missed it. That's unfortunate.
What's good?
See, I didn't spawn in this time. So most of these caves will have 2 different sides to go in, and then one side will have two different directions to go into it, so on the edge of the radiation belt. See, I really feel like there are things in there that we're going to be doing later, because that's clearly a building of sorts that we're going to have to fix up or do something with. Oh, shit. As is this one down here. I don't know what's going on with that down there.
Geoscanner initialized.
Infectious, which will
Shield. Status stable.
So if you let that build up, it drops your shield.
Stable.
Extractor on those puzzles, they're a pain in the backside. That's done, even if you're under attack, make sure you get in there and push it. If you don't, they just keep spawning, so the bugs will just keep coming off. That's making it spawning. Stay away from the radiation. Somewhere we'll get into.
Come to Mama.
Hopefully. Okay, not sure when. This is why you want to get out of there.
Has finished regenerating.
Looks good.
Sound is it closing over the cave right now?
Good stuff.
So, radiation zones are nothing here, so we're just going to push back up that hill that direction now. Pretty much just been following the edge of the radiation zone, being that we can't go in there. feel like that is a feature that's added in, and we will be getting radiation resistance. Just like we can get corrosive and everything and heat, so I'm sure that's a thing eventually. Whether I'm not there, whether it's not in the early access, I mean,
Come to
all
Mama.
the goodies too soon, do they? Also like to collect a lot of
Looks
stuff
good.
too, to make
Good
food
stuff.
for other people who jump in with me when I'm not in the streams. Some of them are shy. Some of them are also not good with their word choices. So they're not very good to be on stream, so. These ones are the ones I struggle to find. There is a couple.
Come to Mama.
I don't really go that direction, so there's not a lot else out there. As they're not a priority plant for me. I haven't spent a lot of time farming them up just yet. Just as I go past the areas in which they are. Aliens will end up coming towards me shortly. The aggro range seems to be pretty high on them, so just picking a nice spot with our single file for you.
Who's next?
Definitely keep reloading because you never know when the next one's going to be. Not sure if he'll respawn, but there's also another level 5 one down here. I'm really hoping he does not. For my sake, not for yours.
Good stuff.
I'm sure you guys will thoroughly enjoy watching him try and kick my butt.
to Mama.
Grab another pack from the hill. Yeah, now. Oh, we'll be coming now. Get caught up in that.
My butt is sweating. Probably a big thing in this is making sure to remember which caves you have been in. We need to go more this way for now. Figure out the edge of the map first. Soon. Down. I think I still need another 20-ish.
can't traverse that just yet, so we're going to have to go around. This is where it's going to start getting real annoying. Yes, you can take full damage in this. So you hear those little
Good stuff.
jumps. Every now and again,
Something, Mama.
falling, use the,
Looks good.
brace. Because there's the double jump feature, you can use that to save you falling. Check what's in this water here.
Better. I'm taking the meds.
There's a drone in there. So there is. Done that one. Looks like I've done that one too. Probably did during a rupture event though, so it won't be clear. Yeah, there he is. There's the level 5 right there. Particularly want to get into that fight right a second. I mean, he's not that difficult once you sort of understand how to kill him, but for the creatures around can be a monumental pain in the ass. So, I got a feeling a rupture's coming shortly. It's been a while. So we'll quickly lock ourselves up somewhere to stay, just in case. It's like I said, every time I do one of these, losing a lot of the basics is important. And the food bank, these are all loaded. But okay.
Interesting.
They're not worth a lot of data points, but as long as you do them, that big guy's worth. He's worth killing for the fact that he's worth 5,000 points. So if you're struggling to get your points up to unlock things, or you just want to progress faster, then killing a lot of these creatures and handing those in is definitely going to help you get through a lot of that. I don't think there's anything else out in this section specifically. We will activate that in a sec because that looks like it's all radiation around there. So they're kind of locking us in at this stage. I may need to progress into this machine to reduce that radiation section. That may be the governing part that stops all that. Get around and clear up all the other aliens, then we will. I feel like I built that too far away.
Geoscanner initialized. That did it. Comes.
the idea is when he charges at you, you wait for him to have his back to you because he's fully armored, so it comes up armor. What? Don't let him get any one of those fucking blue guys. Oh my god. Jeez, did that to me last time and glad you talked to me again. Alright. I'm just gonna quickly heal. Back out there. This is gonna be a problem now.
Applying medicine.
Charge it becomes a problem. That is a problem.
I'm healed.
How to deal with two of my ones. That's really a new issue.
Necesito agua.
That's a hell of a run to come
That was horrible.
The other thing too when you come back, just so Pete, I'll show you in a sec. When you do come back, you got to make sure to go to your base and whatever guns you were using, it seems to be...
I'm taking the meds.
All my stuff will be on my body, but none of the weapons. So you lose all your weapons and it replaces you back to your basic pistols. So making sure if you do die, come back, quickly make up your guns, whatever you need. So why I leave some of these here. Just quickly make your guns. So first one I like to use is obviously shotty. Can upgrade them too, but I haven't done so yet. It's only you need to. And the second weapon will go with again. So just utilising those. Gonna run straight back out there. Do a couple of bullets, I'll take one of each. Stack.
Oh, yes.
Get me back to my body. I mean, see, we're still 77%. Still a bit of time left. It does start to drag out after a while. If you're trying to find your body too, easiest way is just to open your map up and it will give you that death icon, is the X in the head, so that's where we know my body is. food on the way. So simply just eat this stuff.
Delicious.
Let's grab some hydro as well.
Come to mama.
Got some of the base as well, but just use these to get back. As you can see, the exploring can get out of hand. Having 2 of those level 5 bugs at once, that's a first for me, so it's the first time I've died to them, but again, having 2 of them is pretty insane. You have to wait for them to charge you and then shoot them in the back. However, if you're alone and you have 2 of them, you don't really have the option of shooting one of them in the back when the other one's still chasing you. If they get within melee range of you, they have a melee attack, which is going to mess you up, as you've seen. They've got the ability cone in front of them, so you'll try and dodge that. And yes, there is dodges. Uses energy, but it's there, so... rough idea where I'm going with. This has been quite my regular run. Probably going to end the stream in a sec. Go have some lunch, spend some time with the family. Being it's the weekend. Alright, all that's done. So, being I am running back out, and a rupture is due at the moment. Plus, obviously, I need them as well, so. Main reason we came out here today, so we can upgrade that core and add more machines in. So depending on if the alien fighting is up something you enjoy part of this game, or whether you're just after more of the building side of things, it's very tied together, I would say. As you can see, there's lots of blueprints, recipes, and other things you need to come and get, which you have no choice to get out here and fight some of these creatures. So there you go. Look, some of it's respawned already, so we'll quickly grab that on our way through.
Looks good. Come to mama.
For those 2 level 5s have buggered off. Don't really want to fight them both together again. That's extremely awkward. If you've got a cliff, you can kite them back and forth. They can't jump. So unlike the other bugs that can jump everywhere, the level 5s, they can't jump. So they can jump up little cliffs. Not much different between us, that's how they kind of move. But they can't jump over a big gap, so there's no double jump for them or large jump. So keep that in mind when you're running from them. space where possible. Looks like we've got more coming in from the other side. That Helldiver's 2 feel to it. Just gonna get back up to this base here and
Looks good.
I'll recover my body then. Day. It's not that far. That mist you see up there, that is it. That is the base. It's the reason that mist, that infectious mist, is because when you place a core down and the aliens come along and infect it, they attack it, they're going to put their little blue infection on it, and then that creates that mist field. Now, that mist field does become a big problem because that's going to create infection. So the second I'm within that zone, I'm going to start building up with infection. So I need to get to the core as quickly as possible, clear off the infection on it, and once I've cleared off the infection on it, I'll then go to disinfect it to get it back up and running. So
Rupture activity detected. I recommend finding a safe place.
see, now this is actually going to make a big difference for us, this Rupture event, because once it occurs, it's going to wipe all of this out. So I'll be able to run up to the body and get back because there will be no creatures around. So level 5's everything, they'll be gone. So quite often I use them to my advantage, especially when I'm looting up certain areas. It's going to save this one for now, just in case we do die again with gear. And then what we'll do is we'll pop these in there, and that'll get me my shotgun. So that just gives us some shit to work with, you know. Just in case we have another incident.
Interesting. Useful information.
Hope you like the stream so far, guys. Hope it's given you some information to sort of move you along your path or decide whether you do want to get this game or not. To me, definitely worthwhile, so absolutely loved it so far.
Raptura's core is unstable. Head to safety immediately.
Even the leading tree
Extreme
was lying
temperature
around the fact that it knocks them out as well. Stream. Just waiting for the rupture to cool down and then run back out there. Get to my body. Located all the way up here. Gotta disinfect the area from the 2 level 5 creatures.
Planetary temperature within acceptable parameters.
And while we're at the lake, we may as well wait for these to respawn. Won't take very long. Before these are the, as you can see, the oxalops.
Come to mama.
These, they're spawning in this lake here, which is, the land is just there, so it's all the way across to the right side. Haven't found any other locations for
Good
it just
stuff.
yet, so it's the only spot
Looks good.
at the moment that I know of. Currently doing some exploring while we're waiting for refineries to pump out materials.
Necesito agua. Base, get my body and all my shit back, and then keep moving back.
yes, another group of them. Now, being inside the infection zone isn't going to kill you. As you can see, all it's going to do is take away our shield. So we've just got to find the infection on this. To the other side. Point. That's the only one. Don't see any more. Seems to be clear. I'm not sure if it has to be back to temperature first. Infection's already cleared off that, so just over from there. I think I got pumped. Sure did.
Ah, gotcha.
It's good to note that this lake was also one. It must be area specific. See, I was looking for these green sludgy areas to see if they're the specific ones, which is why we're moving past here further north, but it must just be like zoned. Further north, so hopefully don't end up with double trouble again. That was very awkward before from him, which is annoying because we clicked that, so that should have revealed the area, but it didn't. So I mean, a few little bugs that sort of happen here and there.
I'm so hungry I feel sick. Necesito agua.
Infections hasn't haven't had this bug before. A lot of times I find this when you these issues, you generally just save it. Give it a sec. Reload the game. By doing so, it fixes up, what I'm saying is it fixes up a lot of the bugs or issues that aren't quite loading the way they're supposed to be. Sometimes you'll load in too, which like you're aware of. Yeah, there you go, now the infection's coming down properly. Other things to be aware of too, like sometimes you'll load in and you'll fall through the world. Don't freak out when this happens. Yeah, I know you're like, how are you going to get your stuff back? You've lost everything. Just wait for it to finish to its animation, load back in, and then reload the game. And I tend to find when I reload the second time, it doesn't do it. So there are a few little hiccups here or there, nothing major. And with all the saving and the extra saving, you know, you can save. Don't always overwrite your last save. You know, have a few different ones just in case something does go wrong. If we run up there and see what's going up there. That, you know, obviously I want to push past there and see where we're at. Yeah, see, that doesn't even look like it's completed. It looks like it bugged out, so that's a bit annoying. Dang it, swapped out their issues in the first place. There was all these creatures coming in a level 5 came, and then a second level 5.
Geoscanner initialized.
I'm gonna melt.
Alright, so we know radiation, radiation. So then this is just going to join back up that way around this thing. So.
Looks good. Good stuff.
These things. Backside. Pain in the ass. Not what I was really intending to come across here, obviously. Just wanted to get through the area. You do want to kite them through an open area because you want them to, you actually need them to charge at you. So many hydro bulbs, I've seen this many, this is crazy.
Something, Mama. Looks good.
Already done that facility, so we don't have to do it again. But I feel like we're being one we didn't do when I originally did it. Definitely want to work because there's another level 5 there somewhere. I don't know where he is though. Get away from the mine, not deal with him. The further I go this direction though, the more likely we are to see those level 5s and a lot more bigger packs like that, so biggest thing I have to keep an eye on is how many bullets we have, because though it's currently 500, that can run out really, really quickly. And a massive corrosion trench here, which I have not done at all. Yet again, probably another good spot to set up. Whereas in the hub, however, in these areas, you know, you're going to have the chance of everything attacking you or attacking your plant. So, once you've set it up and moved away from the area, things don't seem to attack. It seems to be regional based on where you are, so a few plants in there. Hello.
Easy, WP, GG. I'm healed.
Haven't been up here before. Know that we do have to come back here at some point, so I'm just going to build here. Done with it. The corner for today, people. So we do have to go eat. So build this one up. Set up. As always, thank you for tuning in. Lots to see in this one. Lots of different areas we went to cover, so I hope it gave you some information. Like I said, I'll be doing some tutorial guide videos, as always, just in regards to places to go, where to find blueprints, you know, what spawns where, just to help all you along. So if you're time restricted, you don't have time to just run around and explore absolutely everything, I'll have videos to help you along the way. So thanks for tuning in. Not sure when my next stream on this will be, potentially tomorrow, but we'll see how we go. I'd rather get the tutorial guides out for you guys so you guys can get moving. But you know, if you're looking for my thoughts on the game so far, like I said earlier in the video, in the stream, you know, I definitely think it's worth getting. Lots of hours I've already put in, yeah, like I said, 36, 37 hours already. I'm only in the levels around level 35, I think it was, 40 level. You get to level 100 as the character goes, and you've also got obviously all the contracts to do, and I'm only at level 7 on the contracts. Some go up to like 13, 14, just in this early access part of it, and they're starting to take a lot of time to build the materials to get there, so a lot of hours can be put in. You can rebuild your bases to be more efficient, or not as, better words, clusterfucked as mine is. So, you know, keeping it all smooth transitions, lots of storage containers to make it easier to move what you're needing out. Definitely something to look at. So I'll probably do another video later once I've got a bit further on in the game. I'll probably start a new base and build it more efficient. So it'll still be in that same early valley though, as I find it to be more peaceful, less creatures. So if you want somewhere to build, staying in that first zone is going to be the best bet.